Ready. Play.
We'll make our way a bit further on through the women's draw. Let's go to this section where we'll have two seeds playing each other in the fourth round, but let's break it down. Two probably more interesting matches in terms of a quality perspective. Linda Noskova beating Kamila Rakimova in a very tight match. That one was kind of back and forth for two sets, and it was a narrow victory in both for Noskova from what I saw. But she'll be pleased to still be in the tournament and within a reasonable shot of making the semi-finals. I know she was Murtatunga's pick to make it. I think she's still in a very good position. She seems to like it on the grass at the moment. Carson, did you see this match and any thoughts on it?
Yeah, it was a very back and forth match. First set tiebreak was a little bit crazy. Noskova up 6-love at one point, and then almost threw the entire thing away. So it's a little bit small on the screen, but you can see that Rakimova ended up with 6 points in that set. So a little bit messy there to get.
I do wonder whether there was sun at one end of the court during that tiebreak or something like that, because that's the only explanation I could think of for why it was so one-sided when you change ends like that.
Sorry, I didn't really catch that, but
if because it was 6 points for Noskova, change ends 6 points for Rakimova, change end 2 points for Noskova. Yep. I did wonder whether there at that particular point there was sun on one side of the court that was kind of bothering the player who was facing it.
Sun was out, certainly, but I mean they're playing an entire set of tennis up to that point. That's back and forth. So I mean, can maybe say that's a bit of an excuse for them, but also you've been playing for an hour at that point already, so I feel like you should be used to this at that point. But I mean, very back and forth, and then second set also back and forth. Noskova ends up getting a break very late in that set and pulls this one out. But it was like everything that is great about her game and everything that is not as great about her game right now. You could see that on display in this match, just lots of power hitting and then also just moments of inconsistency as well.
Yeah, which you would expect from two power hitters, let's be honest. I think Rakimova's acquitted herself well. I definitely think she's shown that win over Pauli wasn't a fluke. And I'm interested to see what her progress is going to be like after this tournament, whether this is a one and done or whether this is like an opportunity for her to kind of move up. Because I think she's a very exciting player, Rakimova, having seen her now this Wimbledon. Noskova said clearly very relieved to make it through in such a tight match. She'll play Amanda Anisimova next. Anisimova coming through another really odd match with Dalma Galfi, who did everything she could to make this a fight, make it a scrap. And Anisimova, but to me, it felt like when Anisimova got going, she was the better player, but she just never really got going for more than a brief patch. Did you see this, Carson, and would you agree with that assessment?
I would agree with that assessment. There were moments, end of the first set, middle of the third set onwards, where it was a bit more straightforward. But other than that, it was kind of like the typical Anisimova show in the middle, where it just like streaky at times, backhand, like just drops a level for a little bit, and just, I mean, Galfi played very well today as well. Like, not to take anything away from her, like she did well, and
she really did. She really worked out how to scramble Anisimova and jam her up in places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so credit to her as well. As I'm saying this, she did well, and it was tight. She did well to win that second set. That was close all of the way through, pretty much, and then third set. Once you go down a break in a third set against one of these top players, like, it can be hard to regroup and get that break back, and she just wasn't able to today. But credit her. It's a good run for her in this tournament, and I'm excited to see Anisimova move on. And I mean, this will be a big matchup coming up against Noskova. Certainly, whoever wins that is probably the favorite to make the semifinal.
I would agree. I was going to start the preview off by saying that, Carson, so you beat me to it. So, yeah, that's a big match right there. The favourite for the semi-final, the battle to be the last remaining seeded player in that quarter. Yeah, they are definitely the ones who've survived the bloodbath so far, and now they face against each other. And I think, again, if you're a fan of the sort of tennis that we saw between Rakimova and Noskova, then you're going to see more of that. So, Carson, talk to me. How do you see this fourth round match between Noskova and Anisimova going?
I think this one's maybe a little bit tougher to read just because both players can show up to the court in different ways. Like some matches they're just on. It's just very straightforward. They're just going to bash the ball all over the court and just put away the opponent easily. That's tough when you've got two people that are just going to try to hit every ball at 100 miles per hour against each other. I think Anisimova's experience is going to give her a little bit of an edge here. This is just Noskova's second time in the fourth round of a Grand Slam after her Australian Open 2024 run. And then, yeah, Amanda's got a couple of big titles in 1000s in the last 12 months. So she's got experience. I think just a little bit more experience. And, yeah, it's really going to come down to which version of her backhand that we get. If it's the top level, like, it's hard for anyone to beat her, frankly. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'd agree with that assessment. Like, at the moment, Amanda Anisimova does seem to have the highest ceiling. She's definitely, she's looking set to potentially break top 10 at the end of this tournament. She's definitely got the, she had the favorite tag around her for this section ever since we lost Pegula and Zheng from here. Was it Zheng who went out in this section? Maybe I've got that the wrong one.
Yeah, she was in this one.
Yes. So, no, it wasn't. Anyway, no, that's the wrong one. Pegula and Zheng were...
Paulini, I think, is...
Paulini, yeah. Paulini went out, and whoever the other person was in this section. Yeah, because Rakimova beat Paulini. What are we talking about? So, yeah, and then, yeah, it was Paulini and Zheng. So, yeah, got there in the end. Yeah, with this one, I think, yes. And Anasimova's looked like the favourite coming through. And probably has the better pre-tournament form. Here's the thing that's making me think it might be Linda Noskova, and that is those dips we've been talking about with Amanda Anisimova coming into this. Like, I think she's the one who's more likely to go off the boil, and I think the player who stays the most consistent is going to be the one who wins. And right now, based on what we've seen this tournament, particularly in the third round, I trust Noskova to be the slightly more consistent one. So that's why I'm going to go with her. But I can see what you would say. Like, if we get consistent Anisimova, she has the higher peak. She'd win it.
Yeah, I see this one going 3. Like, I think, I don't know. It's hard for me to see a world where either of them are consistent enough for long enough for it to just be a 2-set match. Just with the style that they play, it's very easy to, like, that drop off from being at your peak level to 90% of that. When they're hitting the ball as hard as they are, like, that's quite a steep drop off, and gives a decent amount of time for your opponent when they are also hitting the ball really hard to have an extra 1/10 of a second on some points to get a ball back with a lot of pace. So I think this one is going to go 3. Hopefully going to be pretty tight. I'm looking forward to watching this in a couple of days, though.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of the ones that's worth following for this one. Like, I think that's. I would say, of the women's fourth round matches we've got, regardless of any bias in this half of the draw, regardless of any bias you might have, because I would imagine that the Brits are going to be excited for the one we're about to talk about. Then then fair enough. But I'm just thinking that this one will probably be the closest one. I think from the neutrals' perspective and the purist tennis fans' perspective, this is the one that's going to be circled as best women's match of the day, or has the highest potential for it. So I agree with you there.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it should be a really good match, so I'm looking forward to it a lot.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.